Poor Proctor. Poor Michael Proctor, the former MSP, Massachusetts State Police, who botched, or worse, the Karen Reed investigation because his friends asked him to. Poor Proctor, who was caught being an Austrian painter fan in his texts with friends, family, and colleagues. Poor Proctor. And it's about to get worse. Welcome to the show.
Santa Claus, riding in with the winter laws. Santa Claus, streaming live for the roaring masses. Come home, raise them horns, old Judge King in a crown of thorns. Santa Claus, streaming live for the roaring masses. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus.
Yeah, in the so-called Miles King case, and attorney Rosemary Scapicchio. My apologies if I'm butchering your name. She is asking the court for everything. Every case Michael Proctor has been involved in his entire career. I have the document here, or the motion. Let's go through it. Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Miles King. Defendant's motion for additional discovery related to NCDAO and Massachusetts State Police investigation into Michael Proctor cases. Now comes the defendant Miles King in the above entitled matter and moves pursuant to the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution, as well as Article 12 of the Massachusetts Declaration of Rights, the new Rule 14 of the Massachusetts Rules of Criminal Procedure, and citing a ton of case law for the following relevant, discoverable information. A list of all cases Proctor worked on for the last 13 years, including any pending cases and cases that resulted in trials or pleas. Any and all investigations, notes, memorandum, files, and communications regarding the investigation into Proctor's quote-unquote hundreds, if not thousands, cases currently being reviewed by the Massachusetts State Police, as referred to by MSP's Colonel Geoffrey Noble, who stated publicly on July 20th, 2026, on WCVB's On the Record that, quote, every single Proctor case, end quote, that was worked must be evaluated to determine if Proctor's personal bias or misconduct compromised the integrity of those investigations. Any and all investigations, notes, memorandum, files, and communication regarding the investigation into Proctor's cases by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office regarding Proctor's cases, as was mentioned by Norfolk County DA Michael Morrissey on June 5th, 2024, where he stated, quote, the NDAO continues to review cases in which former Trooper Proctor was involved to ensure a fair and ethical prosecution of all defendants. I think that was June 5th, 2025. But yeah. Any and all investigations, notes, memorandum, files, and communications regarding the investigation into Proctor's cases by any Massachusetts District Attorney's Office, as was mentioned by MSP Colonel Geoffrey Noble, who stated, quote, we want to be very proactive with working with the DAs with reviewing our cases. That review continues to this day. I'd like to be clear to say that our review in all the cases that Michael Proctor was involved in continues." End quote. King understands that this investigation may not be complete, but requests the investigation to date. King requests these documents in advance of the August 27th, 2026 hearing, because these investigations can lead to admissible evidence for the hearing scheduled on August 27th. In support thereof, King asserts that the requested discovery is relevant, material, and potentially exculpatory. As such, due process requires that it be disclosed to the defendant prior to trial. See Brady v. Maryland and Commonwealth v. Ellis. Additionally, King has a constitutional right to due process, a fair trial, and to present a complete defense pursuant to these amendments to the United States Constitution and Article 12 of the Massachusetts Declaration of Rights. These constitutional rights mandate that Mr. King's right to present a complete defense must not be abridged. Chambers v. Mississippi. The right to present a complete defense includes the right to present the defendant's own version of the facts. Washington v. Texas. As such, the defendant must be provided with discovery of evidence that could raise doubt as to whether the defendant's version of the facts is true. Thus, this discovery motion should be allowed to protect the defendant's constitutional rights. King also has a constitutional right to effective assistance of counsel, pursuant to the Sixth Amendment and Article 12. This right includes the right to counsel that investigates potential defenses. It is axiomatic that failure to investigate a potentially viable defense falls below the level of competence demanded of an attorney in a criminal case. Osborne v. Commonwealth. Counsel would be ineffective if she did not investigate the state police and the NCDAO investigation and other potential claims of bias by Proctor. That is United States v. Bailey. And a lot of cases. Counsel would also be ineffective if she did not evaluate the alleged investigations into Proctor on how his racist bias behavior affected the case he worked on. Counsel would be ineffective for not getting this information to investigate and potentially develop a pattern of biased conduct by Proctor. As such, failure to allow this discovery motion would prevent defense counsel from properly investigating this case and pursuing avenues of defense in violation of King's right to effective assistance of counsel. Citing Strickland. Here, if King is not provided all of the above requested discovery well in advance of trial and with enough time to investigate and plan his defense, then the defendant's constitutional rights pursuant to Amendment 5, 6, and 14 and Article 12 will be violated. Wherefore, King respectfully requests that this honorable court allow this motion in its entirety and order the Commonwealth to provide him with the requested relevant and exculpatory discovery. Now, in this, folks, how do they determine if they get these cases, all of them? Well, it will probably not be overly obvious. It can be, but it is to search for the pattern. Who is the suspect? Is the suspect a woman? Okay, how did he act? Was he being what he is? Was it a black person? How did he conduct that investigation? Was it a Jewish person? How did that go along? And that is to show that he treated minorities or non-white men differently. It is to show, look at what he did in this investigation. Look at these white dudes. We have hundreds of them. Look at perfect investigation. But now look at this case involving, for the sake of argument, a black person, a Jewish person, a non-white woman, and a woman. For example, And all of a sudden, there's discovery violations. There's he doesn't write reports all of a sudden. It's that type of things that I believe Miss Scapicchio is looking for. And I do believe, well, first of all, the MSP, all of them will fight against this. Because probably because they know that Proctor did fucked up things. They know. But it will be interesting to see this presented in court. It will be interesting to see what the judge rules. As soon as I know, you will know, because I will go through that as well with you. Thank you all for listening in. You all have a good one. And I will see you in the next stream or video. Bye-bye.
Santa Claus, riding in with the winter laws. Santa